Good morning and welcome. My name's Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. And Saturday morning is our tabletop role-playing time. So we're here to play Urban Shadows 2.0 from Magpie Games. It's still in the quick start document, but plenty of usable material there. So very excited about that. For a little bit of context, if you're more familiar with games like Vampire the Masquerade or Werewolf, etc., this is kind of PBTA's answer to the entire world of darkness. It's wizards and vampires and werewolves, oh my, everything in one. So, we are missing our wizard this morning, but everyone else is here. So, why don't we start with Joey? Who are you and how did you get in here?
Well, you invited me in here, and now you're stuck with me. I'm so sorry, except I'm not. Hi, I'm Joey, and I am playing Ryan Rosenthal, the Fae of the Court Fuck Around and Find Out, which he did last game. It's fine. I mean, it's not like he wouldn't have, fooled around with Cornunos anyway. But a year and a day was a bit long. So that's where he's at, and dealing with coming back from the Fae. And yeah, he's just here to have a good time and hopefully a long time. That's all I got. Someone else go.
There we go. I had to turn my microphone back on. Pooja.
Hello, I'm Pooja, and I'm playing Asmitha using the Tainted Playbook, who believes that lasting repercussions are for other people, like Belle.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I guess that's my cue. I'm Jay, playing Belle, and I am apparently the captain of Find Out. I did not fuck around, but I definitely do a lot of the finding out.
Yeah, you
which
get
is awesome.
Everyone else's Find Out.
Exactly. Somehow all that mail is forwarded to my address, and I feel like that is not cool. So
right.
Let's find out how that turns out.
That's what happens when you have the only public-facing advent out of the room.
That's right. Because I have a store. That's where everything goes. Awesome.
Got it. The caption subtitles are great at picking up what I'm saying. I had a little bit of trouble trying to wire in what you all are saying, so for folks watching, if you're enjoying the captions, you've got 100% me, which obviously, and then you'll probably get about 30% of what everyone else is saying. So I'll try to get that better for next time.
There'll be context clues.
What was that?
There'll be context clues, right?
Right, right.
Yes, that's...
Yeah, this is accumulated karma from Trash Penta, perhaps. Yeah, oh god, screw this, thank you.
Yes, that is 100% true.
Excellent. So last time we had completed the deal to acquire the amulet for Lisbeth. The deal was successfully resolved. Everyone has been released from the contract. No one took damage from the contract.
From the contract.
I mean, punching the stained glass trash monster thing.
Yes.
Yep.
It has a real name, but for whatever reason, all I can think of is a trash can with legs.
Oh, yeah, the stained glass Zorn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But the... after the deal, all hell broke loose. Having nothing to do with you all, just some motorcyclists had snuck up on the gathering of vampires and werewolves who looked like the vampires had hired the werewolves to help protect them out of some, not from you all, but they're paranoid about something, and it turns out they're right because when the vampires left, they got in a running gun battle with several motorcycles. And, I mean, the people on the motorcycles, they weren't angry motorcycles.
You know what? That would track, though.
Yeah, that is an important distinction.
It wouldn't be the weirdest thing to happen in this city. Although I don't think Urban Shadows was really built for the Transformers transition, tie-in.
But why
I
wouldn't
don't
they?
know. It feels like that's a Tainted playbook spinoff.
Yes.
It's already got the transformation move.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I like this. I like where this is going.
Maybe it should be like a. Well, now why would I think of Street Sharks? That has nothing to do with. It's a
Yeah,
street shark.
that's a leap, my friend.
Yep.
What's important is that there would be Dinobots.
Very important. So the running gun battle between vampires, werewolves, and these people on motorcycles, like half of the motorcyclists head off chasing the cars and the werewolves. A pair of werewolves down at the street level had stayed to sort of cover them and were in a back and forth gunfight with more motorcyclists on the ground floor of the parking garage. But the people on the motorcycles shot one of the werewolves quite a bit, not dead, but shot him a bunch, and then let the two go. They called out, they said, take your man and go. Let's, we're done here. So they weren't interested in just executing people, but they were interested in sort of, it almost seemed like a display of dominance, perhaps, right? It's not totally disconnected from that. Mm-hmm. Then Ryan gracefully made his way down the stairs without any problems or being thrown across the stairwell by a woman in biker leathers.
The important thing is I made an entrance.
And an exit.
From a certain point of view.
And Esmeda and Sarah had descended very gracefully.
Sarah was completely graceful.
Yep. No one
Once
was dropped into the bushes or
Nope.
anything like that from 2 stories up. And you were able to observe what was happening on the ground floor. And even when the motorcyclists with their, submachine guns look over and notice you there, they gave you a hang on one second gesture of like, we'll be right with you. Thank you. Your call is important to us and will be answered in the order in which it was received. And we left Belle up in the limo. Well, Belle left Belle up in the window. Yeah. In the limo, not wanting to participate, except the scene came to Belle when it turned out Pancakes, the leader of this biker gang, tapped on the window and wanted to say hi, and Belle was not willing to reveal whether he was a vampire or a werewolf at all, one way or the other.
I still contend that someone who is trying to kill vampires and werewolves should be able to tell them and should not be bothering me with those questions. That feels like that's your responsibility and not mine.
Okay. Now, did that conversation end with you just like, I think it was something like jog on and you rolled the window back up?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yep. Jog on was the exact quote.
That's good. That's one of my favorite scenes from, I forget which Cornetto trilogy that's in, but I just remember going,
all of them?
just jog on.
I think it's Hot Fuzz.
Yeah. Oh, I think that as much as I love Shaun of the Dead,
Hot Fuzz is perfect.
I think Hot Fuzz is a perfect film.
It's so good.
Have you ever jumped through the air wolves firing 2 guns at the same time?
No.
I mean, and World's End was great too, but not
World's End is great.
Yeah, not on the same level. RPG based on gargoyles? Sounds like you've got a project, Pooja. Sometimes you have to be the RPG you want to see in the world.
Sometimes you put out, perfect gems of ideas out into the universe so your friends who actually make games can make them play.
Right? It's called being a muse, and I appreciate that about us.
Oh, I'm amused, all right. All right. So, what state do you all find yourselves in? Like, where do you want to pick this up?
Well, we went to deal with the voices problem so that Belle could get a steady supply of human heads for pancakes.
Yeah, that's right. That's where we left off. Right?
Oh, I missed that. Okay, I was trying to recap quickly in the previous video and didn't catch all that.
We went to the hospital / morgue.
That's right. Yeah, we were at the morgue.
Right.
There was
That's
We did our
right.
city moves and everything.
Yep, we did all the city moves because I was talking to my morgue friend to get. I had agreed to get pancakes a steady supply of human heads. Like
oh
you
my
do.
gosh! Yeah, I shorted an episode.
Yeah. And then we had to deal with Ghost Karen.
Yep.
I mean, you say we, but really Sarah was like, Ghost Karen, please.
Yes.
And banished her.
Oh my!
I was
gosh.
tanking the morgue attendee. Like, I was doing my job.
Yep. Yes. Exactly.
I mean, you
were-
say tanking, I think you mean throating.
Is that the same thing?
Depends on
In
what
a
you're
way.
into.
And yes, and Sarah dealt with, because Ghost Karen attempted to possess Belle,
That's right.
because Ghost Karen felt she was entitled to other people's bodies.
Yes.
And
then
then
attempted to blame my friend for murdering her, which was a
Except-
lie.
That's rude.
Yeah, like especially when like that body was not actually alive
Yep.
by the time it got to the morgue, dude, because it's possible Ghost Karen had killed it when she took it over. It was possible it was already dead. Don't know how ghost powers work.
Yep.
Ghosts are weird, man.
And that ghost in particular.
Yeah.
I mean, really, Sarah did this whole city a service. She
Pretty
should
much.
get +1 with all factions.
Yeah. Let's see. So I'm trying to make sure I've updated the title. Yeah, okay, this is actually episode 9 then. And I reviewed the episode from 2 weeks ago instead of last week. Good job, Game Master. Here we are. Right, so we're in the morgue, and we're trying to collect some heads.
Oh, also, Ryan got Burke to promise that if they got info on Claude's security company,
Mm-hmm.
turned out we named 2 characters Burke, by the way.
Yeah. Well, one has a last name and one has a first name. Claude's last name is Burke, and then Burke is also the
Morgue person.
which
coroner.
isn't going to be confusing for Ryan at all. Like, there's no confused feelings there.
So Burke, the coroner, is going to give has promised to give information to Ryan about Claude's security company if they hear anything.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Wow, all right. Come on, camera. Figure it out. Nope.
Apparently your camera decided to take its glasses off.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like to me.
It looks like you're using the Drag Race Season 1 filter.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Oh, it's actually in Zoom. Okay. Yeah, that. Sure.
And yeah, so we also
Yeah,
figured out during the faction phase that the Helsings are making a lot of moves and securing their borders. The Night faction is on the defensive. The Power faction has sanctioned Mrs. Lane. And the Wild faction, the Fae, are moving a lot of people back and forth. And the Pixies are kind of moving up in the world.
Mhm.
They got a little more clout than they did before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pixies are on the
How I
hunt.
got myself into trouble.
Yeah, it almost seems like the Pixies have more clout because of something Ryan did. That's,
That doesn't sound like the Ryan we know and love.
No.
No. That does not sound like fucking around at all. No.
Oh, and I had to evacuate Chris from the night island, and I set her up in not abandoned, but currently installed renovations apartment in my building.
That's right. Yep.
That's right.
Which leads me to something I actually need to do since we're here at like this morgue come hospital situation.
Okay.
Because I need to go find Chris some blood.
Oh, right. Because it's your vampire
what can I
friend.
do?
Okay, so where was the actual cutoff? I'm sorry for having not done the homework properly. I did the wrong page of homework.
Sarah banished Vanessa,
Right.
aka Ghost Karen, and Ryan extracted the promise from Burke outside.
Right.
So it basically ended like right after the exorcism, effectively.
Yeah, that's what I remembered. Yeah, I still need to secure the heads.
Right. Okay. And the Burke is the morgue. Burke O'Hare, right?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
let's call him O'Hare. So we don't get our Burkes mixed up.
Well, I mean, a Burke in hand is worth two in the bush.
Ooh.
Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. It's really lovely to have you all here. We're shutting down the stream. It's over.
It's all done now.
And,
No coming back from that.
Okay.
I mean, how
so,
are you ever going to top that?
Oh no. That's Mita. I'm saving you, Pooja. I'm blaming that one on Esmita.
Asmita wouldn't know a pun if what smacked upside the head.
So I think we will spend the rest of the scene with Sarah with a sort of distant, otherworldly gaze. Not 100% sure of what's going on around her as she sort of hits the backlash of having done an exorcism or participated in one at least. Well, she's there, and then when we get out of this scene, she'll sort of go take a rest. But how do we want to proceed? It's as Mita and Belle basically in the scene right now. Locker full of dead people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I'll call back to Burke or O'Hare. Sorry, call back to O'Hare to be like, "Hey, you can come in now."
Well,
I said you can. O'Hare, you can come back.
Ryan, how's that going?
Yeah, well, we were in a supply closet, so I don't think O'Hare can necessarily hear you at the moment.
Right.
Okay.
Let's do a little roll real quick and see.
Yeah, I'll
where
poke
we're
my
at.
head out. I'll poke my head out because I assumed that you just stepped into the other room, not into a supply closet. So,
I mean, O'Hara has been watching a lot of Grey's Anatomy, and he has some things he's always wanted to try.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
sorry,
ready
and they
for
have
this.
some things they've always wanted to try.
Yeah.
Right, they.
Oh, thank you.
As you're yelling, you'll hear from a supply closet. 5 minutes.
Okay.
Only 5 minutes?
Well, we've been going for a minute. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's some time has passed.
Well,
Okay. I mean, can you?
as much as I would like to hang around and wait for Ryan to finish his latest tryst, I have my own obligations to fulfill while we are here.
Whatever. Don't
Feel free to, call me if
Yeah.
urgent things happen.
Yeah, or we'll just meet you back at the store or whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad.
I'll meet you back at the cab.
Yeah.
Asmita has no desire to pay for her own fare all the way back to.
Okay, that's fine.
Hold on 1 second. I want to jump ahead to something here. So, Ryan,
yeah.
I'm gonna have you roll because you're having a moment with O'Hare.
Yeah.
I would like you to roll figure someone out because you are figuring someone out.
Yeah. I
So you're gonna
definitely
roll
am.
plus mind.
Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, mind. Oh, mine's okay. Mind is a 7. I'm sorry, an 8. I can do math this morning.
Okay. Well, you get to ask one of the questions from figure someone out, page 10 of the. Oh, double check everyone that you have the quick start version 4, not the old one.
Let's see. I want to know who's pulling this character strings.
Okay.
Like who's he loyal to? Like where do his loyalties lie?
So
Or their loyalties, I'm sorry.
what's that?
Their loyalties. I got that.
Right. So O'Hare is essentially loyal to a let's see. Yeah, I think you find a tattoo somewhere on O'Hare's body that would not normally be obvious. Of the VH for Van Helsing's, and sort of a stylized thing that could also go as a whatever kind of interesting just geometric design, but you know it as the Van Helsing seal, which is like you don't necessarily have to be family to get this tattoo, but you are affiliated with the organization.
Okay, cool. I love that.
And what is your intimacy move?
Oh, we already did it. That's how I got the him to promise to tell me about anybody from Burke Security who might come in.
Right.
Get
Okay.
information on their happenings and what they're doing.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. And Asmita takes off. Right?
Yep.
Okay. And Belle, what do? Are you just waiting for O'Hare to come back?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for O'Hare just because
Okay.
I need to, get some human heads going. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to get ahead in this life, so.
Oh, man.
Wasn't that hard? I mean, what?
What?
Who said that?
Oh, man. It's going to be like that.
And it's all about the quality of head that you were attempting to procure.
There you go.
All right. So a little while goes by. Ryan and O'Hare come back in and find.
Before we do that, I do want a brief moment now that I know that he is associated with the Van Helsings, and just slip him my number for later. And also, you may want to let your friends, and I kind of pat him where the tattoo was as we're like getting dressed, know that I have some information that might be useful to them.
Oh, okay. They seem surprised that you recognize the marking, and so, that's they're processing the. Oh, right, you noticed that, and what did you just add? Oh, yeah, okay.
Right.
Sort of catching up in that process. Also, Esmita, you were heading out to check on. What was it you were doing again?
I need to get some blood for Chris.
Oh, right. Is it okay if we send Sarah with you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Since I think she would kind of want to go with you anyway, and we'll mostly hand wave the blood procurement. It's not particularly difficult, so we'll just let that happen in the scene wipe. But Belle, O'Hare and Ryan come back in, and O'Hare asks you, like, were you able to find what you were looking for?
I mean, we were able to take care of your problem. So
Okay.
now it's your turn to deal with my problem.
Well, I mean, I'll try.
Which is I need heads.
Excuse me?
I need human heads delivered to my store on a regular basis.
I don't think I can do that.
I think you can.
I mean, you don't understand. Like, they gesture to the lockers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they have to show up places. Like, they're going to funerals and whatever. That
There are John Does.
okay.
I am going to measure my mark here. So that's figure someone out.
Yep.
Which I do with... Hold on, let me double check. Figure someone out with mind. Yeah, that's a -1. Why is what? I think because bad things happen to me. All right, so...
Do you roll something other than mind for that move?
Oh, no, I do not.
Okay.
Oh, that does not work out well for anybody. That is a 3 on the dice for a wonderful 2.
Oof. I love it. This is good. Let's see. What circle are you in? You're wild, right?
I'm wild, yeah.
He's Mortalis. But I'm going to have you go ahead and ask one of these questions, and I'm going to give you an answer you don't want.
Yeah. How could I put your character? How can I put O'Hare in my debt?
How could you put O'Hare in your debt?
Yeah.
Well, the problem you're running into, and you haven't noticed this in a long time, but it seems to you that O'Hare maybe may have better backing than you realized, because your sense as a demon and a deal maker, right? You're like trying to get a read on this person. Like, okay, come on, like what's your actual deal, mortal person, right? Like
Yes,
you
right,
can't be
yeah.
that special. But what you're coming up with is this sense of like, oh, there are actually a number of like powerful binding agreements in place for in like to O'Hare's benefit.
Got it.
And they have some powerful resources at their disposal. You're not sure what they are. You do get some like a sense of brimstone, which would be familiar, but it's not exactly what you're used to. It's confusing, and frankly, I mean, I don't want to tell you how your character reacts, but it's an intimidating type of thing. Now, I don't want to say Belle is intimidated. That's up to you.
Yeah.
But there's a pretty substantial presence there that is surprising to pick up on.
Interesting. Very interesting.
But their demeanor doesn't change at all. They're still
Right.
saying, you know, I don't. What were I just put them in a cheesecake box and send it over? Like what?
Yeah. That would actually be fine. That's okay by me. A duffel bag, I don't know, whatever you have handy. I am going to try something else here because I'm going to get this done. I'm going to try to let it out.
Oh.
And sniff out a secret stash.
Okay.
No, I roll that with spirit, which is much better. But that is not a much better roll. Why did I roll the same dice again? That is only a 6.
Oh, those need to go in dice jail.
Yeah, they're done. Those are out.
What is it that you're doing with Let It Out?
I was trying to sniff out a secret stash to see if there is something in here that O'Hare is trying to hide.
Okay. So I'm gonna, Joe. You don't have to. but I'm going to give you the opportunity to help if you want to.
Yeah, I would love to help.
Okay, because looking for secrets and poking your nose into other people's business feels very Fey to me.
Oh, bury that.
So, but keep in mind, if you roll poorly, the 6- will belong to both of you, and some things will happen.
What? That's not gonna happen.
No way.
As I pick better dice. All right, let's lend a hand and see how this do. All right. Roll with their circle, and it's wild, so we get a +1 to this. That's nice.
Nice. So that bumps me up to a 7.
Yep, that is an 8 total.
Okay, terrific. I think lend a hand just says 7 to 9 is whatever.
I think it comes with.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you
yourself
expose
in.
yourself to danger, entanglement, or cost. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's fine because Belle also has a 7, and that's a 7 on your let it out. So Belle, does your move say what's what? Oh no, it's you on a hit you mark corruption and activate an ability. On
Yeah,
a 10 plus.
I will take the corruption.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, you have to take the corruption
Right.
because you don't have the 10 plus. So
Right.
So you get corruption, you activate an ability, and the effect is costly, limited, or unstable. So you get all of it on a 7 to 9, as opposed to getting to ignore the corruption or the complication. So you get both. You marked your corruption,
Yep.
and the complicating factor here is that Belle, you're trying to make this deal, and you could tell O'Hare is like genuinely stressed out about the idea of trying to deliver heads, but not because of the like Santa Sombra legal system.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's not at all what they're concerned about. And that being the case, I think between you and Ryan exchanging some significant glances, maybe Ryan, would you even try to like gesture the Van Helsing symbol in some way, or how do you picture helping out when Belle's trying to get magically Snoopy?
Yeah, I think what I do is I think it might even be as almost sitcom-y as being behind O'Hare and like mouthing the words like Van Helsing step.
What
Yeah.
are you doing? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just making obscene gestures.
Yeah. I don't think I want to know what that means.
Helsing.
Van Helsing.
Is this H? I think this is H, right? G-H. I think that's right.
I think that's H, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
So that's good. Van
Yeah.
Helsing. That's a good transition.
Yeah, so like Van Helsing and then still the like
Stabby
staking
stab.
moment.
Yeah.
Like
How
was that not clear?
So then the complication, costly, limited, or unstable. O'Hare calms down and kind of gets themselves together and says, okay, look, I could probably make something happen, but
Excellent.
this is really dangerous for me, and I need to be compensated for this. Like I can't do this forever, and I'm gonna get caught eventually, and I'm gonna have to leave the city. I don't want to leave the city, but there is an amount for which I'm willing to do that.
And what is that amount?
And I think they'll describe something on par of like 3 debts.
3 debts.
But for a while, we'll be able to provide some number of human heads.
You know what? I want this. I need it. I'll take it. Okay. I'll take it at the 3 debts.
And as far as O'Hare is concerned, that's 3 debts to the 4 of you, right? So any of you could fulfill those debts for them. Not that you all owe 3 debts, right?
It's a collective 3 debts.
Yeah. That from O'Hare's point of view, any of you can make good on those debts. So, but at some point they're going to ask for things from you. So,
All right.
maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but at some point.
Someday for the rest of our lives.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, technically, I think all of us will actually last a lot longer than O'Hare will.
Yeah.
So really,
Yeah,
the
really
rest
likely.
of his life.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, the rest of their lives.
Depending on what their actual situation is.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, O'Hare has decided to figure out a way to do that when you offer this, these ridiculous promises, and they seem mollified by that, and they're gonna get to work on it.
Excellent. Thank you, O'Hare. And we will make our leave of this place.
Okay. I'll see you soon, they say, mostly looking at Ryan.
Yeah, I look forward to it.
Okay. What does the rest of this day look like for us?
I return to my shop because I have a shop to do.
Yep.
And I start trying to think about how to get out of these debts.
Hey, remind me, how was the conversation framed for you all to go and secure heads for pancakes?
I'm trying to remember what
Yeah.
we're getting in return for that.
Since I reviewed the
it-
wrong video.
It was a recurring debt gets in touch with Belle looking for access to human heads, a steady supply. And Pancakes' crew have moved into an abandoned morgue in Mortalis territory, and so they need a steady supply, and if you provide that at each time passes, you will get debts from Pancakes' crew.
Right.
No, okay, that's great.
Yeah, it'll continually refresh.
A continually refreshing debt. So yeah. So I go back, I contact Pancakes and let them know that arrangements have been made, and I will notify them when the heads start rolling in.
Hey.
Hey. Yeah, and let me see. Maybe I'll do my when time passes business as usual. Because I'm very curious now about the Van Helsings and about what the source of power is. And so, yeah, let me roll my business as usual.
Okay.
Of course, all this stuff is with mind, and I'm bad at mind now. It's a 6 on the dice. That's a 7.
Okay.
And so I get the opportunity to advance one of my schemes. Or generate a new scheme. I'd like to advance, because now there's a scheme where I'm like, I'd like to advance this one. I'd like to let's try to figure out what these Van Helsings are up to.
Okay. Now, you know some of them, because you know Karen Van Helsing.
That's right.
And
But I don't want to go to the top.
Right. So this scheme is, you sort of would have your ear to the ground and just be hearing things, right? Not you personally snooping around someone's house, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, this is me talking to some people, putting the word out on the street that, like, I'm hearing things about Van Helsings and I am interested to hear more.
Right. Okay, so the word on the street is that the Van Helsings have kind of some new firepower. Not literally, not like fancy new guns or something, but there's some sort of like reinforcements or just new ability in the city to wield power. And the Mortalis Circle is like all of the factions of the Mortalis Circle are on the rise. But the Van Helsings are at the head of that, and they're, very much trying to position themselves as the dominant power in the Mortalis circle. So,
Interesting.
but it's not really clear why. With a 7, it's hard to miss the fact that Van Helsings are making moves, and they're also generally hunting down werewolves less so. They're more interested in undead targets usually, like vampires, but also demons and that sort of thing.
Hey.
Your dealings with what's that, Esmita?
Saying that Ritter would have a large problem with being classified as undead.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
feels a little
undead
rude.
and demons. They're the sort of group that has they've come to terms with, okay, werewolves are like, they would have hunted werewolves in the past, but there are bigger fish to fry, and that's kind of where they are in the city. They're also not just going around hunting vampires all the time, but they are. They're also not a huge group, and they have some excellent skills at hunting vampires, but can't do it all the time. And so they're on the move. They've got access to some new potency. I think that's what you're able to learn about them. Oh, and I was going to say too, I think your contact, Karen Van Helsing, probably doesn't know that you're a demon, right?
Oh.
I can't remember if we established that, but let's go ahead and make that
That's
part of the
fine.
story.
That's fine.
Because there isn't anything really obvious about you being a demon, right?
I mean, I guess not. For some reason, I thought that. Yeah, no, we'll say no. Well, now glass arm and all, but
Sure. But that's still something mortals are unlikely to see.
That's right.
I think they'll probably interpret it as like a prosthetic arm, right? But
I'll just keep it covered.
yeah. Okay.
All right. Let me cogitate on this.
Also,
I mean, anyone could end up with a glass arm, right? That's not a
Right.
demon thing. It's like
No.
The thing that happens to people.
it's just a circumstantial situation.
well, and
Wizards,
actually,
am I right?
as a magic item, like it could be a wizard with it. It could it is true that having a glass arm doesn't automatically mean demon. It just
No.
means supernatural.
Yeah, it is just
Just means been through some shit.
seen some shit.
Bell, regarding the glass arm, and folks, we are going to do kind of a little bit of a time passes here. So we did our city moves. There was some time that passed there. We're also now setting up this deal with the heads and whatever. So if there's anything like particular that we need to deal with, but I think like a few days have passed since our meeting with O'Hare. So let me know if there's anything that needs to happen there first. Anything, Asmita, you are getting blood for Chris. That's, happening regularly. Anything else we should resolve real quick before scooting ahead a little?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Okay. So, Belle, let me ask you, when, getting changed in the morning or whatever, is Belle interested in this glass arm, or does he try to not look at it? Is somewhere in the middle, kind of ambivalent?
Somewhere in the middle. Ambivalent. It just this is my arm now, so this is just my arm.
Okay, cool.
And I guess it does what arms do until it does something else.
So, could you go ahead and roll lend a hand? No. Can you roll figure someone out
Sure.
plus mind?
Why are we doing all my rolls with mind? Because, glass arm means mind no good no more. Well, that's actually not so bad. That is an 8 on the dice for a 7.
Okay, that's good. So with a 7 and 9, I'm gonna say you notice that, like, after a few days, it seems like, well, let's see, we already had a time passes, so it's really been like a couple weeks since you were up in the Wizard's Tower, or in Mrs. Lane's Tower. So it seems like something is a little bit different in the transition point from, because I think it was like elbow-ish, right? Like I
thought it was further up. I thought it was like the whole arm, but we'll start at elbow-ish.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say it started out as like it chomped you in the forearm, right? Mm-hmm. And then the glass transformation happened, and now you're noticing like, oh, the glass has actually moved up to like past the elbow at this point. So it seems a little different, but it's actually slow enough that you're like just now you're like, what? It was already up to my elbow, I think. Like,
yeah,
I don't think that's anything. But with a 7 to 9, you do have opportunity to maybe ask someone for help or get another opinion or do an experiment. I don't know what your magical skills are like. But is there anything you want to do to act on that information?
Trying to think if there's anything I want to do now. I mean, there's nothing really that I do here. No, I'm not going to do anything right now about it. I'm curious. I will keep track. But no, because I don't want to talk to people.
Okay.
That seems wrong.
All right. How will you keep track of what's going on? Are you take some selfies or?
Yeah. Take a picture. Yeah,
okay.
I'll take a picture. Just say this is how far up my elbow it is right now.
Okay.
Let's compare that to tomorrow.
Right, and just see like, am I right? Am I being paranoid? Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay. Cool. And for the record, no one else is really going to notice this because Belle wears a lot of like suits and long sleeves, and I don't know if you're wearing gloves as well now or what. But...
Yeah, I'm wearing a glove on that hand.
Okay, cool. It's like one golf glove.
Yeah, one black leather. It
looks
cool. Looks definitely cool.
All right. Okay. So a little bit of time passes, and we finally get word from O'Hare that the first head is ready to be delivered. And O'Hare lets you know, as opposed to, because I don't think you put O'Hare in touch with Pancakes.
No. Definitely remaining the middleman here.
Right, because you don't want to get cut out of the deal.
Yep.
But O'Hare says if you go to Strike Zone at closing time at midnight, and go to locker. What's an appropriate locker number? Well, we'll just say locker 357.
Sure.
And the delivery will be there. It is in a discreet packaging, so you don't have to worry about like walking out of there with a human head under your arm. But
I mean,
you do need to pick it up tonight, or it could be an issue.
Yeah. Yep. So I will go. I will let Ryan and Ismita and Sarah know that like, hey, head delivery time. Anyone want in?
Sure, I'm curious.
Sarah is in a trance, unfortunately, and will not be able to join you.
That's fine. Good luck.
You're gonna get a link to Ryan's Instagram showing that he's already there in the arcade. hanging out, and because he's kind of thrown himself into hanging out with mortals for the last couple days because of his year in the Fae.
Yep.
No.
So he is there just hanging out, having a good time.
Have you told any of your friends about how much time passed?
No, not yet. I don't think it's any of their business what happened between.
Well,
You
what
know,
was the Star Trek guy who was in prison for 8 years in his mind?
O'Brien.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ooh, that episode so good but so rough.
So
Beautiful.
fortunately, you only had a year and a day.
Right.
And you also got to spend that year knowing, like, you're going to go home after that. Like, or go back
Right.
to, like, it wasn't like a big secret, and you weren't in chains or something. You just
No.
had to serve Carnunos. And,
Right.
So sometimes you were in chains.
Right.
but only for fun.
Right. Fun
Um,
chains.
So the if folks are watching this later on YouTube, I recommend jumping to this mile marker in Twitch for a little bit and watch some of the chat replay. There are just some excellent things happening about having a glass arm. So Strike Zone is a bowling alley with and apparently an arcade. So there's all kinds of stuff, but it is so Asmita and Belle, you head over to Strike Zone. Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yep,
it's on the Mortalis Island. So head over there. There is significantly less magical fuckery flying around in the air here, just because everyone's kind of agreed to silo themselves a little bit. But you get there. Do you get there close to midnight or earlier so you can get some bowling in? What's your plan?
I wasn't really planning on bowling, so yeah, close to midnight. Just want to pick up the head and,
Okay.
get it to where it needs to go.
I kind of want to go a little bit earlier and scope out the lay of the land.
Dorklord Canada. I also watched Gunpowder Milkshake this week, so we
Is it
don't
good?
know what.
Oh, is it out? Awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
Good.
I wouldn't call it a cinematic masterpiece, but I had a really good time with that. Yeah, I liked it. But
I have an entire TED talk about how we, as a society, have decided that things either need to be like the exemplar of like amazing, or they're absolute garbage and you wear garbage for watching them.
yeah,
And
yeah.
all that in between space.
I talk to my students all the time, more in the context of video games usually, but I talk to them about trying to separate the concept from separate the concepts of I like this and it's good, right? And they can be different levels of importance, but they're not necessarily the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Where like, I think it's fine that people like the video game Call of Duty, but hot take, I don't think it's a very good game, right? As far as like what I think makes up a video game. But
There's also like all the other kinds of metrics of what metric of good are you talking
right,
about?
Exactly.
The Fast and the Furious franchise is great at what it does.
Yeah.
right.
It's not attempting to remake how you think about the world.
Yeah, no.
It is telling you a fun story about the power of family and how it will overcome all obstacles, both metaphorical and physical.
And also physics.
Yep.
And
Physics.
cars are apparently indestructible.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Yeah,
figure.
well,
Who knew? All cars.
Once I
Indestructible.
realized that Fast and Furious was a superhero origin story and then transitioned into superhero movies,
Yep.
it made a lot more sense in my head. Like, oh, that's a superhero story. Okay. Same with the Die Hard movies getting more and more wild.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, this is a bard in a tavern is telling a story that has to ramp up. Like it has to get more and more wild as they're telling the story. And like, oh, okay, this is a bardic epic tale, and it it has to inflate. So, anyway, we're Esmita, you're headed to the bowling alley early. And Ryan, you've been there for a while.
Oh, yeah.
However, you're pretty focused on just enjoying yourself, right?
Very much so. I think when Asmita comes in, she probably sees Ryan wearing a bowling t-shirt and has somehow indoctrinated himself into this random bowling team.
Okay.
Like bought them drinks and are having a great time. And it's definitely not normally Ryan's scene, but he is so immersed in like trying to absorb the mundane at this point.
Yeah.
That he is living his best life.
Do you have the so it's the button up with the little like embroidered name?
Yeah.
And the shoes? Do you have the shoes?
Oh yeah, I'm doing the whole. You know how long it's been since I've worn shoes?
I mean, I saw you wear shoes like 2 days ago.
Do you have feet or hooves? I don't remember.
Oh, I have feet.
Does anybody have hooves? No, I just made that up in my head, I guess.
Cornunos has hooves.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, I suppose, like, in my other form, I have claws.
Yeah, fair. Okay. Well, Ryan, you've had a busy afternoon. It's great. You're already there. You're just waiting for your friends to show up at some point. Esmita, you get there, and it's what time do you want to get there? It closes at midnight, which means they tell everyone to get out at midnight, and they can actually like close down around 1 by the time everyone gets out. That's the kind of the vibe.
And we're doing this pickup or at midnight ish.
Yeah. It's when they tell everyone to get out, go to the locker 357, get the thing, and head out.
So yeah, I probably let's say 10:30 gives me time to scope everything out, know if somebody's setting us up for an ambush, especially with this Van Helsing connection.
Okay. Let's study a place of power.
Okay. So this is Mortalis.
It's a circle move, I think.
1.
Yes.
Sweet. I got an 8 on the dice plus 1 is a 9.
Okay. Now, again,
Also,
Ryan, this is something you're in a position to help with if you wanted to have noticed something that that you can point, like when you see Esmita come in and you're like, hey, look at that thing, that's weird. Or maybe you're super absorbed in what you're doing. That's okay too.
I think he's super absorbed in what he's doing.
Fair.
I think he's trying to just forget all of his troubles and I think
I respect that.
Yeah, I think that's where he's at right now.
Okay, well, Esmita, on a hit, you see below the surface to the reality underneath. The MC will reveal an area, NPC, or item located within that is not what it seems. On a 10 plus, etc. We don't have the 10 plus. So, one of the things you notice is that, no, this is in the Mortalis Island, not the Elysium Island, the fifth island that is not beholden to any particular circle, and all the circles have agreed, like, okay, no shit is going to go down there. It's too complicated. And we need a spot to meet, right? Like, that's a spot that we've all agreed, and no one's going to break that. And if anyone does, everyone's going to tackle them. So, but this is not that. This is the Mortalis Island, and this is Strike Zone. And what you're noticing is there is somebody on a far lane, all the way down on lane 13, who is bowling by themselves. and is making a show of bowling, but is constantly kind of looking over their shoulder. They're subtle about it, right? They're good. But the thing that draws your attention is they're checking over their shoulder, looking and like bowling to keep up appearances. And every time they bowl, it's a strike, and they're not paying attention to what they're doing. They're just like strike, strike, like not even looking. So I think that's kind of what draws you. Like you walk by and you could see the scores on their like solo scoreboard is just like, I think 300 is a perfect game, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like 300, like several games have been like 300, 300, 300. So they've bowled at least 3 perfect games in a row since they've been here, which is wild. And probably most of the people around just assume they're cheating because they're by themselves. Like, who cares, right? Like, you want to write 300 down? Nobody cares. You do you. But you can see them bowl like 3 or 4 times in a row, and they're all strikes. So, what do you want to do?
I think I'm going to approach this person and... wow. I don't think I've ever seen this kind of skill before. And you have something of a talent.
What?
Are you a professional? Would you like to? Are you trying to be discovered? I'm sure that.
So this guy seems very shocked that you came up, and for somebody who seems to be paying close attention to what's going on around him, is very surprised. It's like you walk up just in the zone that he wasn't paying attention to, right? And he's shocked that you're in the little like area where you would sit and bowl with your friends, and the ball return is chunking the ball back, and he just looks at you like, just come, what? I'm sorry, what are you asking me?
And I like gesture to the scoreboard. I'm like, at first I assumed you were attempting to grab someone's attention through, cheating. But it's obvious that you have a real talent.
And
are you trying to get on that? Are you part of that team?
Casting wise, has everyone seen Deadpool 2?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? The guy with no powers who joins X-Force?
Yes. I love it. What's his name? To the internet.
Rob, what's his name?
Yeah.
From Catastrophe?
Yeah.
Rob Delaney.
Yeah. So it's a solid, like, Rob Delaney, maybe even a little bit pudgy, and, just not looking very important. I'm not even gonna go with like big bushy like Ron Swanson mustache, and just go with that look. But no like bowling team shirt, just the white button down that he probably wore to work, with like could probably do one more button, right? Like undo one more and be comfortable and whatever, but it's like all the way up practically, and it's probably due to buy some new shirts, but here we are. He's I'm sorry, what are you asking me?
I mean, I'm just saying that if you are here to attempt to keep an eye on someone or something, that you might want to draw less attention to yourself.
I'm not here to do that. Why? What? Why? What?
Because you have bowled half a dozen strikes in a row that I saw, and yet you seem to have no actual interest in bowling.
Oh, just lucky, I guess.
You were very bad at lying as well.
Do you want to roll put a name to a face?
Yes.
Okay.
And what circle am I rolling with?
Mortalis.
Cool. Sweet. That is a 10 on the dice. Plus 1 is an 11.
Oh, okay. On a hit, you know their reputation. So, you know that this is not a super well-known figure, but for some reason you've heard of Lucky, and he is. So most people know that actually don't know what he looks like, right? You're more like putting together the context clues of like, oh, hang on. I think I know what's happening here. So Lucky is not on the level of a Domino, right? Like that's like Domino is the full on, you know, mutant X super X power. But Lucky is known in the Mortalis circles as somebody you can sort of like wind up and put in the direction that you need something to happen, and if you like pay or whatever. But on the 10 plus, you know, he's also often used as like kind of an accidental assassin, and because people can like get him to do things and like set up the like Rube Goldberg machine and just wind him up and let him go. And so he probably looks nervous because people die around him, but he is not a killer. Does that make sense? All right. So he's probably been sent here, and that's why he looks so nervous. He's like, oh, it's going to happen again. But he gets paid for it. And so he's sort of aware that something is happening, but not entirely. And he doesn't see any of you have some supernatural tells that mortals wouldn't see, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't seem to pick up on that at all. He's just surprised that this woman is talking to him. Right? So that's more than anything. But you're just putting this together that like, oh, this must be that guy. This must be Lucky. You're not sure what his real name is, but you know, here you are.
Great.
You don't even know if he knows that people call him that. Right? He's like a natural phenomenon. Do 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 do. I can't not.
You know, it's interesting. I suppose I expected you to look a little more put together.
Sorry, do I know you?
Oh, I don't know if you know me, but I've definitely heard of you.
I'm Bill. I work at the accounting firm up the street. Are you sure you're? I mean, do you? What? He's so confused.
It's very nice to meet you in person, Bill.
Okay. Do you shake his hand?
I think I do. Yeah.
Okay.
People. I've heard that your services tend to be for sale in terms of being in the right place at the right time.
I mean, I've done some like CPA work on the side, but I'm not sure what you mean. He's
mean
lying.
that-
He definitely is lying. You don't need to roll. He's not good at this.
Like, man.
Do you need help with your taxes?
Generally more, I need help with people not dying when things are going down.
Asmita, your phone is buzzing a bunch. Do you carry like a purse or carry it in your pocket, or what's your
Pocket, my giant trench coat of pockets.
Oh, okay. So, yeah, you're getting this like bzz, 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 you know, like when multiple people are texting you at the same time. Something, your phone's blowing up.
I'm gonna hold that thought, and I'm gonna check my phone.
Okay. There are 3 messages right off the bat. One is you have won a around the world cruise worth about $20,000. You have an apology text from your cell provider refunding you $450 for something that you're like, okay. And you also got a notice that the lotto ticket that you didn't buy won and somehow has your contact information on it, and they need to confirm your address to send you the $1,000 that you won. It's just a little lotto ticket, but all of that is going off at the same time.
Bill. I'm not trying to threaten you. I just want to know who asked you to come here tonight and bowl by yourself in a way that makes you look incredibly suspicious. It's just a little information. Like, take a deep breath, Bill.
Okay,
Deep
so
breath.
now he does understand what you're asking him, right? The who asked you to come here is the exact question that he needed to hear. So, ooh, hold on, I need to look something up, and I don't want to ask you what it is, so I have to look it up without you knowing. Wait, what's your character sheet called again?
It tainted?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I really wish they would change the name when they get out of quick start, but I don't see it happening.
They should change it to like the perineum.
I just assume that everyone else who's ever going to play this game is more mature than I am.
Impossible.
No.
That's a big ask.
I don't know. Have you met me?
Yeah. And I've met other people.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't actually give me anything extra. Okay, so then we're just gonna do the sway an NPC thing. Let's see, where is that? Persuade an NPC. Yeah. So go ahead and roll plus heart, unless you roll something else for persuade.
No, heart it is. That is 7 on the dice plus 2 is a 9.
Okay. You get to ask one of these questions. Oh, you're asking who's pulling your character's strings. Is that what you want to go with? Okay.
Yes, it is.
All right. So the answer you get is Bill's version of trying to be circumspect, right? He's like, well, this person who works downtown, and so the short version is that somebody that he thinks is a cop, like a detective at the police department, is asked him to be here because they're friends. And as he's telling you that, he's realizing like, oh, we're actually probably not friends. Like you could see that happen in real time.
Oh, Bill.
Yeah, it's actually kind of sad. But
So a cop asked him to come here tonight.
yeah, as far as he knows, and you get the name of the detective and all that. I'll make that up later.
And he didn't say like why just to be here.
Nope.
Oh. Bill, I mean, I can kind of see that you understand that.
Bill interrupts you. He takes a deep breath and says, "Can I buy you a drink?"
Sure.
Okay, he was not prepared for that part of the conversation. But yeah, he's like, okay, what do you want?
Well, I mean, it's a bowling alley and arcade, so I'm gonna assume that it's mostly like concession type food.
Yeah.
So I'll just get a Coke.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he kind of looks over at the like half full pitcher of beer over on his table there.
I mean, beer is cool too. Beer is fine. If beer is what you have, I'll drink it.
Okay, I'll go get you a glass. And he just kind of hustles over to the concessions counter. So you've got a moment here by yourself.
I think I picked up another stray. And I keep running into these mortals who, I mean, they're like puppies and people keep kicking them and you have to stop the people who are kicking the puppies. But yes, I'm going to kind of like look around as when Bill was talking about the cop or anything, did he look like, did he like glance over? Is the cop here is basically what I'm trying to find out.
No, it doesn't seem like it. And you're like, you would have picked up on that. It doesn't, he's still like looking all over the place because he really is nervous, but it's a general sense of like, when I am asked to go places, shit happens. Right? And so
he never put that together.
Well, no, he does understand that, but he doesn't understand why or that he could have any control over it. So that's the problem he finds himself in. But he's also been paid, so he got paid to go bowling and drink beer. So
yes, he got and you know continually deal with the trauma of people dying around him, but only when he's asked to go places.
Yep.
Oh, Bill. I mean, there's naive, and then there's burying your head in the sand.
Did you say that to him?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah?
I like to think I was a little nicer about it, but not really.
Okay. Oh, well, I like bowling and beer anyway, so being asked to come here seemed okay. But now I'm worried that maybe I shouldn't be here. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, and this is just something I would like to ask you. How much of a friend do you really think this cop is? And do friends really ask you to go places to make sure that other people die?
Oh, no, I mean, he didn't want that. He just, and we hang out. I mean, we have plans to hang out.
Have you ever hung out before?
Yeah, a bunch of times.
So you didn't think it was weird that he asked you to come here and hang out by yourself, and he's not here and he's not hanging out with you?
Well, I thought maybe he needed like a undercover, plain clothes.
He wouldn't have asked another cop to be an undercover.
Some things are falling into place. Like you're watching this happen in real time. Of like, I'm not a cop. Why would he ask me to do that?
Bill, it hurts me to see people use other people without their knowledge.
Well, I think we just had a business arrangement. He paid me, and that's
so you're okay with whoever he wanted to die here tonight dying.
Well, I don't know about that.
Do you feel like he paid you in a level that was commensurate with that outcome?
Well, I mean, he covered all of this, and
that's like $50, Bill.
Yeah, and then he gave me some cash on top of that, and And for game terms, it was like one debt's worth of cash.
Oof.
I feel like we should talk about like valuing yourself more, but maybe that's a later conversation. But Bill, I mean, I know that you got paid to be here, and you have been here for quite some time, actually. So do you feel like maybe your obligation to your cop friend might be fulfilled?
He glances at his, let's say, like, too small of a Fitbit wrist thing. Like, it's like, he's a medium-sized guy, and he should probably have, like, a chunkier watch. But it's this weird little, like, heart rate monitor thing, and just looks
like a very
odd.
delicate.
Yeah. It's like for the person with real small wrists, but he's not little, right? He's just medium-sized guy, a little bit on the heavier side, and but he looks at it, he's like, well, I said I would be here till midnight, and I feel like I have to keep that promise, so
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I am going to give you an opportunity here. And we'll see if you want to take it. That I feel like you don't really know the extent of the presence you have in the world. And I would love to explain that more to you and go into it with you in detail.
Okay. Okay, so out of character. Pooja, have you seen the movie Sneakers?
Not in like 20 years.
Yeah, that's okay. But there's a moment where, shoot, I can't remember any of the actors' names, but am I thinking of the wrong movie? The guy asks the gal who's like trying to infiltrate his stuff. He asks, like, do you want to get breakfast sometime? And she says, yeah, okay. And he says, all right, well, should I call you or nudge you? And I think Bill like delivers this exactly. Like he's like quoting the movie. Right? So I don't know how much Asmita would know that movie, but that's, he's like, oh, okay, well, maybe we could talk about that over breakfast sometime. And you're like, yeah, okay. And he actually says, well, should I call you or nudge you? And he's like, just trying to get the words out. He has not hit on someone in a long time.
I think Asmita's a little like, oh, definitely not used to people hitting on her either. Like, this is like, oh. Wow, that
sorry, I just forget
no,
it.
I'm not. You know what? I'm not adverse to this.
Oh, okay. I misread that.
But I don't want you to feel like obligated that you. This is not a tit for tat.
Well, no, I didn't think that. I just thought, we were getting along and that.
And we are. I just, I'm a little bit afraid that someone may have paid you to be here in order to murder my friend.
Real quick, Ryan.
Yeah.
From the arcade, you can smell awkward mortal vulnerability. It just wafts through like somebody's smoking in the other part of the room, but they're not allowed to smoke in here. You just smell like, let's see, what would that smell like? A little bit sweaty. Mm-hmm. And like Old Spice deodorant.
Very that. Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, kind of.
Yeah, Ryan is definitely interested in that. Like that sounds like a good time. Like that sounds there's mayhem there.
Uh-huh.
So he's going to finish this quick little DDR moment that he is doing for the likes on the Instagram.
Yep.
And then
is he live streaming?
Oh, absolutely live streaming. And then walking over to try to figure out where that opportunity is.
Okay. And Belle, did I understand you were
I'll
you
probably
weren't-
arrived around now.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
This feels like Asmita got here a bit before me, and
Okay.
I'm just walking to the locker, vaguely wondering where my friends are, but, not surprised, and I'll find them after.
And I'm gonna tell Bill, like, you know what? Why don't we go get a real drink?
Yeah, okay. I really I don't feel like I should leave before midnight. I was paid ahead of time, and I made a promise. But I mean, if you want, he could crack, right?
Yeah.
If you want to do persuade an NPC, it's not going to take much. We
I
just
am
have to
going
get
to.
7 or better.
I'm going to. Well, I am really glad that I have a +2 in heart because I got a 7.
Okay. Now, with the 7 and 9, I'd like to offer you a complication that you are welcome to reject because it's a little bit involved, right? But on a 7 and 9, I want to suggest that Asmita might actually have a genuine feeling, like, brand new, just met this guy, of like, well, actually, this guy's kind of like, I don't know, but that's totally up to you. We can have a different complication if you'd prefer.
No, I think it works because like despite here is what I'm gonna say it manifests as. Despite the fact that like Bill realizes that he is being used right now, he feels like he needs to honor his promises.
Mm-hmm.
And Asmita recognizes
Oh,
that.
right. Okay.
That is a
yes.
kindred soul.
Yes. Okay. That makes sense.
So I'm going to say that's like, oh, I know you.
I like that. Yeah, that's really good. Okay, so we've got you. So you now have him in a position where he's willing to leave, and it's like 11:45, and he's like, yeah, I could leave a little early. That's okay. And Ryan, you're coming out of the arcade, and you can see Asmita, like the body language between Asmita and this random guy who, like, he's the kind of guy you probably you couldn't have even processed visually. Like, this is not.
Yeah, he's a fade in the background,
Right.
extra character. I gotcha.
But both of their body language is like, oh wow, okay, I know what's happening here.
Oh yeah, like, all right, I better go introduce myself.
And
I
it
mean,
looks like they're sort of heading out to, like, Asmita, are you leading him to like walk out of the bowling alley?
Yeah, I think that like there's a bar across the street. Let's just go grab a drink. And that way you're close enough to kind of like honor your promise enough.
Okay. Yeah. No,
But-
he's able to like bend his to that because he's also real excited about meeting you. So it's, outweighs. And Ryan, you come out of the arcade and you see these two sort of getting ready to leave. You're like, you can decide how you react to that. Belle, I think you come in at the same time. Like, Ryan comes out of the arcade, Belle comes in through the double doors. So I just had this image of Belle like throwing both doors open and coming in like the Liberace cape. But like, nope, that's not Belle at all.
Nope. Just walking in like a normal person doing
Right.
normal person things.
Yep.
Nothing to see here.
But we have this sort of lock, stock, and two smoking barrels moment of all these people coming from different directions to the tune of Zorba the Greek, and I think that's the perfect place to take our break. So we will be back in just a few minutes, and we'll see you soon. Don't forget to stretch and hydrate and remember your potions if you have any, and we'll be back in just a minute. Hello there. Welcome back. We are partway through our episode today. We visited a bowling alley. we're we're at a bowling alley. Asmita and Bill are walking out as Ryan and Belle both come in to see these two kind of heading out together. What are our reactions? What are we doing here?
Well,
I mean,
Ryan's looking. Oh, go ahead, Belle.
I was just saying, I'm just walking to where I'm supposed to go to get the thing I'm supposed to get and then leave.
Sure, where the lockers are.
Yep.
Yeah, Ryan is kind of standing there, a little disappointed that Asmita took away his toy. It's just like approving, but also like, aw, but definitely standing there. And I feel I should describe the bowling shirt he's wearing that he got from the bowling team is a neon teal and black bowling shirt.
Yeah.
Embroidered on the back is the name of the team, Living on a Spare.
It's good.
Yeah, so that's where he is. And like, oh, okay. Oh, Belle. That's right.
Yeah.
We're here for. Did you know about that? Is that a thing? Did you not tell?
She
I
didn't
miss
tell
something?
me. This is all news to me, and yep, not gonna get involved.
Sure. I mean, I suppose that's okay.
Yep.
Ryan's having trouble understanding the not getting involved part. Because it's your friend, and how do you not want to get involved and make sure they're good enough for her? And
Because Asmita can take care of herself.
well, yeah, that's a good point. Sure.
Yeah, but how do you be a nosy bastard in that case?
Right? You're missing the point.
Listen, if you want to go be nosy, that's fine. I'm here to pick up a package, so I'm just gonna do that and then be on my way.
But quiet phone. I was about to say both of your phones buzz.
Okay.
All right. Yep, my phone. Yep.
What's on my phone?
So Belle, you get the alert that your BMW 5 Series is ready to be picked up. That's all detailed and cleaned and ready to go.
Don't have one of those.
Well.
Okay.
And Ryan, you have been selected for that singles game show that your sort of guilty pleasure TV thing that you have never entered to be on. But you always liked it because it's filmed here in Santa Sombra, and but your application has been approved.
Of course they pre-approved me. Look at my Instagram. I've got the followers. Let's go.
Do those both count as things you would want to have happen to you?
I think so.
Okay, Belle, is that
I mean, I'm not going to complain about having a BMW.
Okay.
Like that seems fine to me.
all right? So, Belle, you head over to the locker. I think you were probably given the key too when they sent you a note that said, "Okay, go on this day at midnight, locker 357," and they sent the little like hard orange key, the little round locker key, and you head over to the locker, open it up, and there's a bowling bag inside, like for a bowling ball.
Okay. I will take it and lock it. And
Yeah.
again, I'm just going on about my business.
Feels like it's
I know what's in it.
10, 12 pounds or so.
Yep. Listen, if it's not what I came here expecting, O'Hare and I will have words.
Are you
And
telling
that's-
me that Jerry Maguire lied to me?
Well,
Really?
there's also the ice unpacking materials.
So is it,
What? I'm just what? I just take the thing and walk out, or walk towards the door.
Yep.
This is a perfectly normal transaction. I don't understand why everyone's being weird about there being a head in a bowling ball bag. I'm actually grateful. It is, an inconspicuous way for me to transport it out of here.
This makes me wonder if there's like a whole side business of like saw-sided coolers in the kind of vein of other bags. Like here you
bet,
have your
yeah.
bowling ball bag that is actually a soft-sided cooler, because it would be really like inconvenient if it started to like drip on
Yeah.
your way out. And then there's another one that looks like a violin case for say other limbs.
Yep.
Yeah, a cello case for the whole body.
Sure.
I mean, it's not a bad idea. This should you know what, Esmita, when we get back, let's have a conversation about that. That's maybe something we can add to the store. I know we
Business
sell
plan.
antiques, but nothing against us.
All right.
Gotta do something to replace the potion section.
All right. So, Belle, you're just gonna take the bag and go, right? You're not like scoping out the place or anything like that.
Nope. What's going on here is firmly none of my business.
Okay. Ryan, how about you? Just going out with Belle?
Yeah, I think I've had enough bowling, and Esmita took the only real interesting thing that was still here. So yeah, I'm gonna walk out with Belle and see what the night holds for us.
Okay. So, Belle, how did you get here?
I took a cab.
Okay. So you go out to the street to hail another cab?
Yep.
All right. Ryan, how about you?
I probably Ubered, so like let's just take a cab back to your shop. Like we'll hang out. I want to find out what Esmita got up to, and I'm sure she'll tell us when she gets back to the shop. So that's Ryan's plan now, is he's gonna camp out at the shop waiting for Esmita to come back.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think the the bar across the street is called Ball Return. But so you two are, out on the sidewalk trying to flag down a cab, and somebody walks up behind you, and she says, "All right, put the bag on the ground and walk away."
Well, I want to make sure it's one of Pancake's people, because I'm like, this is not, as far as, is this what I had arranged with Pancakes, or is this something?
No, this is not what you were expecting at all.
No. Then I just ignore that I've heard this thing.
Okay. Ryan, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn around. I'm curious and nosy. I want to know who it is.
Okay. There is did you ever see Fringe?
Mm-hmm.
I did not.
Okay. The Olivia what's-her-face character is like an FBI agent, and is just very much the like light blue pantsuit, but just looks like a cop basically, but is standing there with kind of hands on hips, which pushes her blazer back, and you can see the gun holster, which in our city, our cops don't carry guns. So either she's like very high ranking or not a cop. And there is a badge of some sort there, but I don't know that Ryan would be able to really tell one badge from another. Otherwise she hasn't drawn her gun. Her hand is just sort of on the butt of the gun. She's repeats, like, just have your friend put the bag down and walk away. This doesn't have to get ugly.
You know that they have free balls in there, right? You don't have to steal his.
Yep.
I am continuing to wait for my cab. And my only response to her is, you must be talking to someone else.
Esmita, I'm gonna say you catch a glimpse of this from across the street. You know, the big windows in the front of Ball Return. You can see Ryan and Belle, you know, waiting, or, you know, on the sidewalk. Belle's looking for a cab still, and Ryan is talking to this woman who just walked up to them and has, you know, shown off the fact that she has a gun and a badge.
Do you know that armed woman over there, Bill?
Oh, that's my friend's partner.
Uh-huh. Any reason?
I don't understand what's happening. I don't know why she would even be here. I've never spoken to her. Or not, I mean, I've never had a conversation with her.
Why? I mean, I'd ask why she has a gun, but
Well,
I think that's less important than the fact that, like, she does, and she seems to be bothering my friends.
well, there's Santa Sombra PD detectives, as far as I know.
I mean, I thought they didn't carry weapons,
Well,
or at least not guns.
the regular cops don't, but I guess maybe detectives do. I don't know.
I mean, maybe, but why would a detective be standing off with my friends? You know what? I don't want to cut this short, but, like, I can't just leave them to deal with this on their own.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's going to resolve itself one way or the other, right? I mean, we could just kind of wait it out. It'll probably be
Bill.
fine.
Bill, I can't leave my friends
Oh,
in
okay.
what could be a bad situation. And that, I mean, that includes you too. If you don't want to come over there with me, that's fine.
Oh, so right away, Bill was under the impression you were like blowing him off, kind of like actually really good excuse, but in his mind it was like, all right, she's making up a reason to leave. But the fact that he's invited to go with you, he's like, no, yeah, we shouldn't just leave your friends. Yeah. Yep.
So I'm going to go over with Bill and see if... Oh, officer or no, I'm just going to say officer.
Well, okay, so before you get over there, we get a little bit more of the conversation
sorry.
here. And she says to Ryan, look, I need to put that back where it came from. I don't want to do the paperwork, and you don't want to get in trouble. So let's just do this the easy way. Put it down. Nobody has to know. I deal with the mess. You're not implicated in anything, and I don't have to do a mountain of paperwork. Everybody wins. There's no problem.
Counter offer. You walk away and go on about your business, and I walk away and go on about mine, and that's the end of that.
As much as I would like to, I cannot.
Well, sorry to hear that about you.
All right. So at this point, I think this is as Mita's coming out of the bar as well. She draws her gun and is threatening you with it and saying, just put down the bag and walk away.
Sorry, everybody. I'm going to roll Let It Out. Hold on, let's see, and I will tell you what I do. Okay, let's see how these dice do. Well, that's good enough, because that's a 6 on the dice, plus a 1 for a 7.
Yep.
And the ability that I would like to activate is to teleport into my establishment from any distance or position.
You monster.
Oh my god, I love it. I love it so much.
Yep. All right, so you
I
need to
will
mark corruption,
Happily. I will happily mark corruption for that.
and we're gonna need a complication.
For someone else, it's very
can't be
complicated.
mad. That's so
Costly,
good.
limited, or unstable. Let's see. Okay, yeah, it's gonna cost you because as you initiate this move that you've done a million times, maybe not a million, but you definitely are familiar with using this magic. The weight of the bag becomes sort of existential, and it doesn't want to come with you, or not. It doesn't want anything, right? It's just there's a strange inertial mass that like you teleport with stuff all the time, but this thing is
weird.
yeah. So you're gonna have to either take 2 harm or leave the bag behind.
I'll take the 2 harm.
Okay. And
Oh wait, hold on. I'll also use I'm a fucking demon.
well, not on this damage. That's
Damn it.
if somebody attacks you, then yes. But no,
It just says suffer harm in a scene.
okay. Nope.
Ignore all harm the first time you suffer harm in a scene.
Yep. No. Fair point. Fair point. Yep. That's
Yep.
you push through it. You sort of demon out to get through it, and you feel a little like itchiness just above your elbow. Guess which arm I'm talking about.
I'm guessing it's the glass one.
What? Yeah.
Hey, who
What a
knew? Got it in one.
coincidence.
What a surprise. Oh boy.
But yeah, you
All right.
get back. You have exerted yourself a tremendous amount, but the shop
Yeah.
is closed, and you sort of collapse onto the floor. The bag is here. You're here. So I think you end up kind of like on your hands and knees for a moment of like, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're out of there.
Yep. Okay, good. Yeah, I will collect myself, and then I'll just collect myself
Okay.
and I'll let the chips fall where they may for them.
Question for you, Jason, just
Yeah.
because I just need a ruling on this. What is considered a medium-sized creature or a medium-sized animal?
I would think anything up to a big dog.
Okay, but what would be the small limit? Like, how small can I be to still consider a medium-sized animal?
Oh, I don't know. What are you thinking?
Well, I unlocked one of my corruption moves, which basically gave me the rest of my fairy powers. One of which is shape change. You can change your shape into that of a medium-sized animal for a scene. Up to 3 people you can designate can still understand your speech, but everyone else perceives you to be barking or chirping.
Right. Okay. Well, I would say not a bear and not a bird. So, what are you thinking?
Well, I was hoping for some kind of medium-sized bird, but that might be too big. Let's go.
I just got this image of you transforming into a goose.
Honk.
Canadian specifically.
Oh yeah. Oh. Well, that's what I was gonna fight her.
Well, if you got a problem with Canadian geese, then you got a problem with me, and I suggest you let that marinate.
Yeah, let's
You're
go
a
with-
Canadian goose?
Yeah. Why not? I'm gonna go with a. Let's go with a fox. I'm gonna turn into a fox and try to get the hell out.
Okay. I think a
yeah.
fox is smaller than an eagle.
Well, then I'll take it. I'll take.
Coyote?
Coyote would be good.
Okay, let's do coyote. I can do coyote. And yeah, get the F out of Dodge, yo. But literally, it's gonna be one of those moments like Ryan thinks they're getting ready to fight, and then sees Belle like, dude, seriously, and then turn into a coyote and scamper away.
Yeah,
And that
okay.
costs me a corruption to do that. So I will do that.
Okay, that's all you have to pay is corruption?
Yeah, just to activate the power, I have to pay a corruption or I have to give my monarch a debt.
Oh, yeah. Okay, easy peasy. Great. So, when you vanish, the detective doesn't seem particularly shocked by what's happened. She's like, oh, like, this is inconvenient, but doesn't shoot at you. And Asmita, you can see this lady, like, holsters her gun and is, like, moving her hand in space, and you can see little, like, blue symbols kind of tracing in place. What do you want to do? You're kind of crossing the street, I think, at the moment.
Like, oh, hey, person's name, who if you gave it to me, I've forgotten. Bill's friend's partner, who therefore also must be Bill's friend.
Yeah, I think he knew her name was Emily.
Okay. Oh, Emily! Imagine seeing you here.
I don't know you. I think you have me mixed up with someone else.
But Bill told me that he is such good friends with your partner.
Oh.
Steven.
Yep. There we go.
And any friend of Bill's.
It's weird that you would name, if you have the last name Stevenson, that you would name your kid Steven, but here we are.
Yep.
And with a PH.
Yeah.
Any friend of Steven must be a potential friend of mine.
That may be, but I'm working right now and I really can't stop to chat with you. I'm sorry. And she is gesturing to finish the thing that she's drawing in the air, which she just assumes you can't see. She kind of looks like it could be passed off as like fidgeting, but you can see she's like finishing a little drawing of an eye. Kind of like the, what's the Egyptian one called? The Eye of Horus. She's finishing one of those.
I am going to let it out to impress, dismay, or frighten someone with a display of demonic fury.
Okay.
But I'll let it out and we'll see how well this works, and then
Yeah.
I'll describe what I want to do with it. Seems like the best option.
I really feel like her evening has not turned out the way she thought it was.
No, it has not.
I mean, when you hire someone who is basically a walking, talking assassin insurance by pretending to be their friend, it bothers me. I rolled an 11 on the dice.
Oh my.
And then my spirit is 0, so it's still an 11.
That's great.
And I'm going to... The way I want to do this is like, yeah, her hand is kind of fidgety, and I'm going to grab it to shake it.
Okay.
Except the hand that she feels is my demonic hand.
Okay. And maybe the contact gives her a little bit of impression of what you are.
Yeah, like when I grab her hand, she can feel the paw of my demonic side, and she can see that my eyes aren't eyes.
Right. Okay.
I'm like, this big, smiley, very skull-like face with void eyes.
Yeah. Yeah.
and toe daggers.
Yep.
Or on a leopard, is it toe daggers, or does it like upgrade to just straight up like toe knives?
Yeah, I don't know. They're talons for sure. They're kind of hooked, I think. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Okay, so do you want the corruption or the complication?
I'm gonna take the corruption.
Okay, so we ignore the complication.
Yes, but it also means that I need to take a I need to take a move real quick. I didn't realize
Oh,
until I went to the market. Because that fills up my corruption track.
well, a corruption move. Yay.
And so
Yeah, Blue Troller in the chat is absolutely right. Pooja is one gigantic flex.
oh,
Yep. Agreed.
Ooh. I feel like this is appropriate. Just below the surface, mark corruption to assume your demon form without a roll and gain all the options listed.
Oh, yeah, that seems like a good option to have.
And since I'm flexing into my demon form, that feels appropriate.
Yeah, I don't think you have to fully change at this point, but yeah, you're certainly getting your point across. Her the whatever spells she was casting, she's obviously not a wizard, right? Like, this isn't how wizards do spells. She's kind of doing, did you watch Dragon Prince?
Mm-hmm.
So how they would like draw a symbol in the air and then do something with it. She was almost done doing something like that, where it's like how most normal humans can use a smartphone, but they don't really understand how it works, right? Like, it's kind of that type of use of like, I know if I draw this shape in the air and do this, then it'll do the thing that I want, but I don't really understand it. Well, you sort of etch-a-sketch that when you grab her arm, and it's also her right hand, right? And her gun's on her right side, so that's her gun hand. And she's like, thinks about reaching across with her other hand to get her gun, but it's not in it's not a reverse holster, it's not like geared to be pulled with the left hand. And so she doesn't really get there. And so she's just kind of waiting to see what you do next. And her eyes get wide, her eyebrows go up as she sort of gets a full face of what you're all about. And she just gets real quiet. She says, "What do you want?"
I want you to leave my friends alone. And that includes Bill. I feel like y'all have been really mean to him. I mean, you just denied even really knowing him, despite your, your past association with him in general.
Oh, is he?
But I really think that, like, maybe you should just go home and think about what you have done.
Okay. Let's persuade an NPC. Roll with advantage. It's hard to imagine this not working at this point.
Boxcars.
Hey, oh my gosh. Okay. So I just want to check the wording on this real quick. Seduction, promises, or threats. I think this is one of those. On a hit, they see your point and do as you ask. Yep. No 7 to 9 costs. So, yep. It's even, I think it has like a supernatural effect, even where you actually get some of that. How do you feel about like a hypnotist kind of vibe?
I like it. It's that fascination thing.
Yeah. Like how snakes and birds can get in a staring contest sometimes. Like, Are you gonna? And your top half of your animal form is snaky. So does that feel like a good fit?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think you get like a little bit of like just the right angle of the head, and her eyes go wide, and she's like, "I don't want to sell you death sticks." No, she like relaxes the arm that you're holding and says, I think I should go home now and put this case in the shredder.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And she's really kind of lost track of who she's talking to right now. And is just turns, like if you let go of her, she's just turning to slowly walk away.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Bill. I feel like our drink got interrupted in not a pleasant way at all.
Oh, that was amazing. How did you do that?
You know how, like, things just seem to go your way?
Do they?
I mean, I think they do.
Huh.
And that's something that we should talk about more in depth, probably, but, like, I can just be very persuasive, and it's one of my talents.
Wow. Neat. Okay. Well, thanks.
And I'm kind of wondering if I need to go persuade your friend, her partner, that he needs to treat you better.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. I mean, I don't talk to him that much, really. I mean, I said we hang out all the time, and that wasn't exactly true. It's just the once, and then I don't know.
Well,
I think I misunderstood.
Let's get back to our drinks.
Okay, yeah, great.
Can't let this spoil our evening.
Okay. So yeah, the two of you head back to Ball Return, and Ryan, you have scampered away as a coyote, and Belle, you're back at your shop with just a little bit of itchy, under your sleeve. There's probably nothing. You can't hear you.
Nothing to worry about. Nothing to think about.
Yep.
We're all gonna be good in the hood.
Do you open the bag?
No.
Okay.
It's not my bag.
Okay. But in a little while you get a text from Pancakes asking if she can come by your shop.
Yep. I say, yep, I have picked up the item in question.
Now, it is after midnight. Is your shop open late usually, or is this...
No, she's got to come to the back door.
Special late night visit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 15 minutes later, you hear a motorcycle pull up and shut off in the alleyway, and a knock on the door.
Yep, and I open it and let her in.
Okay, yeah. She comes in. You can see there are two other people out there just sitting on their motorcycles. But she comes in, takes her helmet off, does a whole hair flip situation.
Sure.
But the thing that shows you is that when her hair flips, you had only seen her with the helmet on and she flipped the thing up, right?
Right. Yeah. Just saw a little bit of her face.
Yeah. You can see that her left ear is gone, and it looks kind of like it's not like a healed over missing ear. It's like a just sort of dead open wound. Like it's not bleeding, right? But there's just a little bit of flesh. Like you think, like, is that like a bit of bone I could see? Like there's just like a whole bit missing here.
Yep.
But doesn't seem, because it's, I don't know if you want to act on that knowledge at all, but
Nope, I'm just gonna file it away for future use.
okay.
Yep.
It does seem like she kind of flipped her hair on purpose to
Don't care.
make sure you saw what she wanted you to see.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I'm like, here's your thing. You may leave.
Well, I appreciate that. This is, and she like unzips it in front of you.
Okay.
Yeah, and goes through. There's like gets some of the plastic, and you can see there's like dry ice. Some of the like the mist comes out, and she peers down into it. Seems happy with what she sees there, and zips it back up.
Great.
And says, "Now, can we count on you as a regular thing here?
That is our arrangement. So
okay. Well, it's a pleasure doing business with you, Belle, and I'll see you in a week.
I'll see you in a week.
All right. And yeah, she heads out.
Great. Like, I don't know what else you were expecting here.
Nope.
Next time, honestly, you just knock and I'll just bring it to the back door and give it to you. You don't need to do this.
Okay. Well, we'll see you next time.
See you next time. Pleasure doing business.
All right.
Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Ryan, what are you up to?
Ryan's at the front door, still as a coyote, banging on the front door, like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do I recognize that Ryan is a coyote here?
Well, I imagine it has antlers.
Well, yeah, but the antlers would be a dead giveaway, so sure. Then I will let the coyote with antlers in.
I will come in, untransform, turn around and say, "You suck."
Oh, I suck. Oh, that's how we're doing this. Look, it was a bad situation. I didn't want to be bothered anymore. I left.
You left me holding the bag.
I took the bag. I had the bag. You had nothing.
Very funny. Thank you.
So,
I also appreciate that.
so I'm just saying, did she kill you?
Well, clearly not, because I thought on my feet.
Oh,
Then
hold on.
we're fine.
I have an important question. Ryan, do your clothes change with you?
You know, I was thinking about that, and I'm gonna go with no.
Okay, so you just show up naked.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go with the interesting choice.
Yeah, I
Like,
imagine
that's-
Maybe
Coyote,
left
like-
a pile of bowling clothes at
Yeah,
the.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what happened.
And I imagine you like grab your phone and your mouth.
Oh yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Yeah. What else do you
Can't leave
need?
that behind. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I need.
It's not like you carry a wallet or money.
No,
Like-
people just buy me things.
Yep.
Yep. Someone needs to buy you some new clothes. Someone, not me. So,
But I also imagine Ryan just totally unself-conscious about standing
yeah.
there naked in the shop.
oh yeah. Listen, this is not the first time.
Yeah.
And won't be the last time.
No, it won't be. But nonetheless, look, she didn't kill anybody. We got our I got our business done. Everything worked out fine.
Yeah. Everything worked out great.
You're here. You're fine. Obviously.
You know, I just thought we were closer than that. Like, what, you couldn't pull me through the portal with you? You just had to leave me standing there?
Not how it works. And I figured you could take care of yourself. Come on, Ryan. It's not the first time.
Just a little heads up would have been nice.
All right. I will try to do that next time.
And he's gonna go just chill out on the couch.
Hey, clothes. Don't just sit on
Yeah.
my couch naked.
You're a monster. You can't put your naked butt on someone else's couch.
That's just rude.
Did you get what game we were playing? Fine. I'll go in the back and like grab a towel and put a towel down and like, I don't have clothes here.
Well, you should probably go somewhere where you have clothes.
You could probably get some of Blythe's clothes.
Celeste.
Yeah, Celeste
Celeste,
has
yeah.
a stash, and I only raided like one piece of it last time.
All right. Yeah, I actually kind of like that. Like, he'll come back out in like one of her blouses that's clearly too small, but like still buttons, but is incredibly form fitting,
Yep.
and like a pair of pants that are pretty much the same.
Yep.
Like it,
Just painted on.
he's basically still naked, but with a sheer piece of
Yeah.
cloth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you have a home to go to? It's late.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see what Asmita got up to.
Okay.
You see that guy she left with? Come
Yeah.
on, you want to hear that story?
I mean, sure. But Asmita, like I said, Asmita can handle herself.
Oh, I'm
If
sure.
she's
I just want the
interested in
gory
that guy.
details.
Details. Ugh.
Hold on. I
That's
gotta
what
turn on
friends
my
are for.
fan real quick. I'm just sitting here sweating for no reason.
I know. The idea of Matt Bomer naked on a couch makes me sweating too.
Correct.
Yep, that's the response. So yeah, I'm like, all right, well, we'll just hang out. Asmita, I'm sure, will be along shortly. But she also might not be along at all. Looked like she had other plans.
Even better.
So you're just going to sit here all night till Esmita returns?
Well, yeah, aren't you?
I mean, I have work to do.
Okay.
With books and things to order, and, you know. If
I
you
can
want to
help.
sit there, no, it's fine. If you want to sit there, you're welcome to.
Hey, Joey,
Yeah.
does Ryan wish he knew where Esmita was right now?
Yeah, he just kind of wants to be a fly on the wall. He's being nosy. He wants every detail about her adventure.
Do you think the thought might form in the context of, I wish I knew where Esmita was right now?
Yeah, I think so. Especially after about 15, 20 minutes, she hasn't shown up yet. Like, now I really want to know where she's at.
Okay. Do you want to roll let it out?
Ooh, I do want to roll let it out. That is something I would like to do.
Okay.
No, not
keep
these
in
dice.
mind this is optional and may come with the 6-. So
I'm here for it.
Okay.
Let's go. Oh, that's beautiful. That is a 10 on the dice plus 2 spirit is a 12.
okay. So the right. So you set off the let it out ability of creating a telepathic link between yourself and another.
Mm-hmm.
And you create a telepathic link with Esmita, Pooja, unless that is unacceptable. That's like, you can X card that if you want, but
No, I kind of like it. It's like
Okay.
all of a sudden there's like, hey,
How's it going? What's happening? What'd I miss?
and I do want to know, like, what moment do we find Esmita in an hour or so later? Are we still at the bar? Are we not at the bar anymore?
I feel like we're not at the bar anymore.
Okay.
But like we've gone back to Bill's because I don't bring people back to mine. And
Yeah, I think he lives nearby.
yeah, and it's like we're still in the like super awkward phase.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and you've seen Fight Club?
Mm-hmm.
You know Ed Norton's apartment at the beginning of the movie? That like shopping catalog, you know, like, it's that. It's just everything there is like, it's neat and tidy, but there's no, like, everything is sort of gray and beige, and like there's no design aesthetic. But
It's very much embodies that CPA feels.
yeah.
I'm gonna get CPA hate mail now, but I'm here for it.
Yep.
I can take it.
So
So I feel like we have like just gotten into kind of like being more comfortable because we spent the first 20 minutes while we were there with him like trying to figure out something to do.
right. Like, do I put music on or make a drink, or do you want to
And-
play Scrabble? Like, he's really like struggling.
And so like we've just started like making out when
Okay.
like Ryan comes all up in my brain and
Yep.
I'm like, privacy, I would like some.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just was curious and wanted to check in and make sure, everything was.
Ryan, if you don't get out of my brain right now, you will never hear another word about this.
Flip. Ryan has left the chat.
Take a thread, Joey. Oh yeah, I forgot. I was gonna add an exclamation point thread command so people could check what we're talking about in chat. But anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah. All right. So we disconnect that. Esmita, we have a fade to black moment. I did want to check your intimacy moment, and for Esmita, is this intimate?
You know what? It wouldn't have been, except she has feels now about this.
She actually kind of likes
person.
him.
Yes.
Yeah,
She
okay.
recognizes too much of herself in him not to have feels about it.
Yeah. Just in recognition, we talked about this before, but for any new listeners, an intimate moment, for some people, sex wouldn't qualify as that. And so that's just something we want to be able to assess.
But they give me a debt they hold on someone else.
Where is that written? Oh, there it is.
Next
Okay.
to gear and notes.
Okay. Well, I think you get the Bill has now fully explained his kind of back and forth with Officer Steve Stevenson, and I mean that's just parental cruelty, really, at that point. But I think technically Officer Stevenson now owes you, right? Like he sort of owed Bill because Bill did something for him, but that debt has been transferred to you, and you can call on Stevenson, and you know what to say to him to sort of trigger this moment.
Mm-hmm.
We just redeemed hydrate in the chat. If you have something, that's a good idea. Water for everyone. Also, folks in the chat, this is your reminder.
He'll hydrate.
Joey.
Damn it.
Joey. Did Joey kill Jason?
I think so.
Oh, fizzy water up my nose.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't
a
want
full
that.
Ted Lasso.
That's the painful one.
I was not expecting that. That was well done, Joey. All right. All right. So, let's pick up next day.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm at work opening my shop.
Ryan is still there, passed out on the couch.
Seems right.
Guess I covered Ryan in a blanket out of kindness.
Well, he's got the tight clothes on.
Right.
Still, a blanket.
Okay. That's cute. I love the image of Bill putting a blanket over Ryan and tucking him in like a little baby.
Yeah, there we go. And yeah, I opened my shop and get back to trying to figure out what the Van Helsings are up to.
Okay. How do you want to go about that?
Let me see here about advancing my schemes.
Or do you want to try to do a debrief with Asmita and Ryan first?
I mean, listen, whatever is going on, if Asmita wants to come in and tell us what was going on with the lady with the gun, that's fine. I'm, at this point, assuming that is a maybe connected, but is also a sideshow to what I really want to know.
Okay.
I want to have a conversation with. I'm sorry. I want to have a conversation with Bill. Like, let us put our cards on the table a little bit. To an extent. That your reputation around town is this. And while I don't think that that's a problem, per se, people do all kinds of different things for work. What bothers me is I feel like you're being taken advantage of in this situation, and you don't actually know the extent to your involvement.
Okay. So I think we'll do the narrator version of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But he's able to come to terms with what you're explaining because he's been kind of suspicious of it. But it's also like the effect isn't something he can make happen, and it generally doesn't affect him. Like, he is not wildly lucky, right? But
I'm sorry, who'd you wake up next to?
well,
This morning?
right, present company excluded. He's not a millionaire. He's not, doesn't get dates every night or every week or month, and that's fine. But it's an effect that he is peripherally aware of because it doesn't always directly affect him, except like really bad things don't happen to him, right? Like when there's a shootout out in a place, if he ducks down, he's not going to get hit, right? He's been in 3 shootouts, which is more than most people, right? And a number of things like that have happened where he doesn't have specifically good luck, but he doesn't have bad luck either. So he's just like a nexus point.
He's true luck neutral.
Yeah. And so like minor bad things will happen and minor good things will happen to him, but nothing in the extreme. So he just is living like an aggressively normal life. and you're able to show him a little bit of like, look, this is like some people do win a lot of money and some people get their foot run over by the cab. Like it's, like shit happens, but not to you. And neither does the good, so yeah, the short version is you are able to sort of
convince him of the situation.
Yeah, break the seal a little bit, and he is starting to become aware of the situation. But I also want to know, how much are you explaining to him about you? Because he has questions. He's like, what is it that's different about you? Why, what is this vibe I'm getting? Now that he's feeling a lot more confident in the morning, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, wow, and she stayed. Like
there's a lot we could go into, but I think that the major thing, like, I have some connections that most people don't have. And those connections imbue me with like certain benefits.
Like Sacramento, or that's the capital of California, viewers.
A little bit further afield than Sacramento. But
like DC. Cool.
But I have some connections, and that gives me certain benefits, but it also comes with certain responsibilities, like that I don't always necessarily want to fulfill completely, but am obligated to do.
Okay, but you're not a federal agent.
No.
Because I think you would have to tell me.
That's not how that works.
No, I saw it in the movie.
Please stop watching movies from the 90s. Or at least watch other movies too. But I like you, Bill. And I would like to keep seeing you.
Well, yeah, I like you too. This was great.
But I also want to feel like I don't have to go hunt down people who claim to be your friends because they're using you.
Well, yeah, no, I don't really want that type of relationship either. That would be, I'm not completely helpless. But I do feel like I have a new perspective on what's been happening, and I appreciate that. It's new. I need to think about this more, but...
Well, there's a lot more out there than I think that you've been exposed to in the past. Like here in Santa Sombra.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that part. What was that?
Oh, there's a lot more out there in the city than I think maybe you've been exposed to in the past. And you might start noticing some things.
I've kind of wondered.
But just be careful.
Sure.
About who you talk to about those things.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. I don't want to get put in a mental health care facility. Yeah.
Perfect. But I have to go, do work. Sorry.
No, that's fine. Out of character, did we say what part of the week we were in? I think we were probably coming up to weekend. So let's say it's Saturday morning, and that's easy to imagine. So yeah, he goes over to his, let's see, what is the most Bill Is it a Stairmaster, a stationary bike, or a rowing machine? Or the standing ski erg?
Oh god, the ski erg. The ski erg.
Is he a ski erg? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Because it takes up the least amount of space. It's up against the wall.
Yep. And it's like questionable, like how much fitness benefit you're getting from that. Yep. Yep. Good stuff. Okay. So yeah, he's like getting ready to work out with his ski erg. And yeah, and you head out. So, oh yeah, definitely headband, wristbands, short shorts. Good stuff.
Well, all that squatting does give him quite the nice butt.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm gonna go back to Bell's after that whole situation.
Okay. Yeah. So let's fast forward to Belle opening the shop, Asmita arriving, Ryan probably waking up
That sounds about right.
10 in the morning or whatever. I like the image of Ryan sleeping through Belle moving around and doing all the stuff it takes to open up.
Oh, 100%. Like, he was
absolutely.
still asleep when the store opened.
Yeah.
Like, if the store opened before Asmita got back,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I've taken several phone calls,
Right.
talked to employees, did the whole morning stuff.
Oh, I never thought about that you have employees.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
At least, yeah, I've got some employees, at least one or two.
Okay. Cool.
And not just the goblins or whatever. You got
No,
some fix your
those
shop.
those come out.
That was a rental.
Yeah.
On track tire.
Yeah. Okay. So the three of you are back in the shop, and Ryan's clothes are entirely too tight, but here we are.
What else is new?
So, Asmita, did you have a good evening?
Well, once it was out of range of I think somebody either put a hit out on you or tried to do a sting operation about the heads.
Is
Yeah,
that what was
it was
going
fine.
on?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, Esmina, I think from all the context that you were able to pick up, it definitely was a failed sting, right? That was definitely the vibe that you got. Like, Bill didn't know that, but everything he's described and the context clues you're able to pick up, that's the most likely explanation.
Okay, good.
So,
wait. How much do I hate Officer Stevenson?
it's not
like
so
a
much
normal
Officer
amount, and then
Stevenson's
there's-
fault.
And then there's a attempted to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
No. I mean, there was the cops were tracking the head in the bag. It was hotter than a dead, decapitated head should ever have been.
Oh, great. Now I
So,
gotta
yeah,
go.
it sounds like your buddy.
Yeah, gotta go back to talk to O'Hare and try to explain that either they're being sloppy or the next set I deliver is theirs.
Well, y'all know that O'Hare is part of the Van Helsing collective, right?
Yeah, no, you told me that, but that's, again, this has nothing to do with them. This is my business that O'Hare is messing with, and I'm not enjoying that.
Based on Asmita's talk about the way they were casting magic, can I try to figure out, is that a MO for the Van Helsing people, or is that a different group of mortals?
The Van Helsings are not allowed to do spells or summonings.
Okay.
If they're a member in good standing, they don't do magic.
Perfect.
It's
Okay.
not that they can't, it is forbidden.
Got it.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that spell casting definitely rules out that it was a Van Helsing trap. So Who knows who else is involved?
I mean, it could just be like I'm assuming there's like a supernatural division of the force. Not that
Maybe?
force, the police force.
But she
Oh,
also might just be freelancing. We don't know.
Yeah, I mean, and she was definitely not in on it alone.
Yeah.
This is both like the Rebecca and her partner, Stevenson.
Rebecca.
I don't know how
The-
freelancing
Emily.
she would have been if she had a.
Emily, sorry.
Whatever her name
really.
is.
She was wearing some kind of badge.
Posture check from Sun Growler in the chat. Thank you. I was in fact sitting like a goblin. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, listen, if you all want to come with me, I'm gonna go talk to O'Hare and explain that this is not the situation.
Yeah, and I'd like to know some more
All right.
Can I
about
make a suggestion?
Stevenson and his predilection for using people.
Why do you keep going to O'Hare? Why not make him come here? Why not deal with him on your own turf?
That just seems like a lot more work, frankly.
I mean, I could call him for you.
I think
mean,
what
if- yeah,
he's
if you
saying
can-
is that every time somebody comes here, the shop gets wrecked.
Also true. I mean, listen, I don't need another fight here.
Yeah, but it's O'Hare.
Yeah, but they're involved with the Van Helsings, and it's a whole thing.
What's he gonna do? Autopsy the shop?
Who knows? Who knows what they're gonna do? I don't know. But listen, if you think you can get them here under false pretenses, so they're not like, because I feel like if I call them to ask them to come here, then it's gonna be a fight.
Yeah, I can get them here.
All right, get them here.
So you're making a phone call?
I'm gonna make a text.
Okay.
First I'm gonna be like, hold on a second. Set the phone down. I'm going to rip the sleeves off of the shirt.
Yeah. They were probably half ripped at this point anyway. We've
They
seen
were
his
a nightmare.
shoulders.
Yeah, so rip the sleeves off the shirt and do one of these like perfect selfie moments
Uh-huh.
and send it to O'Hare and like just thinking about you. Need to if you want to hang out later, I'm over hanging out at Bell's, could use a change of clothes and ...
Okay. You get back, what was it, 5 words? Call me in 5 minutes.
Sure. I will then call them in 5 minutes.
Okay. So they answer the phone and they say yes, and then before you say anything, they say, okay, so when can I pick my car up?
Car, what car?
I thought you said it would be done today.
I have no idea what you're talking about. You know who this is, right?
Yes?
Oh. Anytime, really. It'll be here all day.
So it is ready.
Oh, it's always ready.
Okay. Thank you. I will, what, you close at 5? I'm gonna have to miss work to come pick up my car.
Well, you know, that's our business hours. I'm sorry for the inconvenience.
Fine, I'll figure it out. Thank you.
Good. See you soon.
Joy, do you want to try to establish a telepathic contact?
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Because I think I understand, but also he could have hit his head.
Uh-oh, this is either Snake Eyes or Boxcars.
Well, it's neither, but it's not great. With a +2 for spirit, that would be a 5.
Oh,
Oh boy.
okay.
Had me in the first half, not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
So the bad news is you make contact.
Yeah.
But you are you're kind of treated to a full sensory VR experience, looking through O'Hare's eyes.
Okay.
And there is a guy cop who is just obviously a like he's not a like uniformed police officer, but he's has like a detective badge, and you actually know that it's a detective's badge because of something in O'Hare's brain, right? So you're actually getting some of his thoughts and awareness, and you have the you're pretty sure this man isn't going to kill you, but
Good.
it's not off the table. So you're like 80% sure as O'Hare. The man is let's just say a generic Skarsgård.
Got it.
Like just as a recipe, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
that's fine. And kind of has O'Hare pushed up against the lockers in the morgue, right? Like hand sideways on his like upper chest. He's not like hurting him, but it's clearly threatening behavior, right? And this guy's like a foot taller than O'Hare. So he's probably like 6'6", and O'Hare is just an unimaginably tiny 5'6". So just indescribably small. And so Stevenson has his hand on their chest and is saying, "You gave me bad information. They were ready for us." And there's like kind of some garbled back and forth, because you're not. It's like you're hearing like Charlie Brown adults talking. Not quite. It's a little bit clearer than that, but it's pretty jumbled. You're not getting a lot of good information, but like Stevenson let them answer their phone to like, all right, yeah, you have to answer your phone, do that, and then as soon as they hung up, this resumed. So that's the timeline that we're looking at. Okay. And there's a bit of back and forth here, and then you get sort of bounced back out of the reception. So if you would like, you could try put a name to a face for Stevenson, or maybe study a place of power, maybe let it out. I'm open to ideas, but you have access to some opportunities here.
Yeah, let's put a name to a face. I like that for Stevenson and see what's going on there. It's okay. Their circle, and that's the Mortalis circle, I think you said?
Yeah. Okay. I am going to have you roll with disadvantage, though, because you got access to this information via a 6-.
No, for sure. Okay. Let's find dice that aren't terrible, which I don't think I have anymore. Okay, that's not bad. Oh, a disadvantage. Sorry. All right. Well, that would have been boxcars, but 8 plus their circle, which is Mortalis, so it's a 9.
Hey, that's pretty great for disadvantage.
Yeah, I got 2 6s and a 2.
And if you want to describe that scene to the best of your ability, I'd be open to somebody rolling a help. If anybody it feels like they would be able to lend a hand.
Yeah.
I think I might be able to, just from like the information I got from Bill.
Yeah,
and all
I think so too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to explain, like, we might have a problem. And then explain kind of what I saw as best I can.
What is the modifier? I always forget.
Oh,
I think it's with my circle.
Yeah, you're wild. The wild circle. Actually, I think you're both wild, so it's probably pretty good.
So I got a 9.
Okay, so you get a +1 to your roll, Joey, and and that puts you at a 10, which is great. So the fact that you're, Pooja, exposed to danger isn't going to be an issue here because we got Joey to a 10. So put a name to a face. On a hit, you know their reputation. The MC will tell you what most people know about them. On a 10 plus, you've dealt with them before, learned something interesting or useful about them, or they owe you a debt. It says your choice, but I don't want to have them owe you a debt, if that's okay with you.
That's fine.
Okay. So yeah, you've heard Steven Stevenson, detective with the Santa Sombra PD, partly because it's such a ridiculous name, and you're like, oh yeah. And then you actually remember that you have come across this person before with his partner, Emily, I don't have a last name for her. Officer or detective. Jeez, why am I just blanking on names all of a sudden?
Richardson.
What's that?
Richardson.
Okay.
Richardson.
Emily Richardson. Wait, is that a person?
Well, there's Patricia
Okay.
Richardson.
So I was going. The only Emily I could think of was Emily Dickinson, and then I was like, oh, but what would be? And then Dick is short for Richard. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that math.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that.
Also, it amuses me that it's the Sun team.
Right. So Ryan, you remember seeing the two of them at a scene that you had facilitated getting Celeste a body to drink from, and you kind of stuck around to see what would happen afterwards. And the crime scene had like some normal cops show up, and then these two detectives showed up, and everyone had to like back off in a way that doesn't normally happen when just a normal homicide detective shows up. Like everybody else had to stand back while they were doing what they're doing, and you noticed them using like some kind of like powder that was not, fingerprint dusting stuff, right? They were like sprinkling some stuff. They were doing some little things. You're like, hang on, those are not police department approved investigation techniques. And so you're vaguely aware of these two. At least these two people have some supernatural awareness and are maybe like this city's version of like X-Files investigators type thing. But I don't think you have a sense of a bigger organization that they're a part of or anything like that.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we may be in a bit over our heads. And O'Hare might be compromised. I mean, I don't think they helped them on purpose or by their own free will based on the aggressive nature that they were treating them with, but I don't know if they can trust them as a reliable source for
Compromise
heads.
For what?
I don't know.
You know what?
Who did you piss off?
I don't think get them over here. It's not about us, because all they wanted was the head, and I don't think that lady expected to see me there. I didn't know who she was. She didn't know who I was. So get O'Hare over here. We've got questions.
All right. Well, I told them to get over here as soon as they could. So they're leaving work to come get their car, which I don't think is a sexy euphemism.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
Only if you have to get your tailpipe checked.
No, there it is.
Okay. Well, we're actually almost at our time, and I think this is a good place for us to game down this week, because I also want to make sure we could get Sarah, Sam's character, into this interview. So we will pick up next week knowing that we're going to meet with O'Hare at Bell's shop, and I will review the correct video before You know what happened is I forgot to export the Twitch video to YouTube, and I always go to YouTube to rewatch because it's easier to watch VODs on YouTube, and I did it to myself. So,
Oh God, screw this brings up a point that probably we should address. That I seem to recall that blood banks don't work for vamps in this game. Would blood from dead bodies work, or am I about to fuck up?
oh, who were you getting?
For Chris.
Oh,
Your vampire friend.
I think recently dead is okay, but probably not from the fridge. Yeah, there's probably some period of time that it still counts. And I think I wanted to add that I think there's probably room for, like, a blood bag can help the vampire from just completely turning feral, but ultimately they need sustenance from, like, a person. And so those are all temporary solutions, but it's the actual act of, like, drinking from a person that can sate to them. So,
So basically, I'm putting a band-aid on this issue.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're tossing them a ration.
But excellent check-in to think about that. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. Okay, well, let's go around and see where where people can find you and your good works. Jay, what are you up to?
Hey, y'all. You can find me on the Twitters at jholtham. That's the best place to look me up on the social medias. And you can also hear me playing role-playing games with 12-Sided Stories. Our Otherworld Seattle game is starting to release every Friday. And every other Monday on happyjacks.org, you can see me and some other familiar faces doing space shenanigans with Yuma Station.
Excellent. Pooja.
Hi, I'm Pooja. You can find me on Twitter at LADesigirl. That's LADESI girl, and pretty much everywhere else is Forgotten Saves. You can also find me on the 12-Sided Stories podcast and Happy Jacks RPG, where Joey, Sam, who isn't here today but is normally, and I are going to be making the triumphant return to the Glittering Night, our Vampire 5e game, next Sunday afternoon at 4 p.m. Pacific, if I understand how time works, which it's a toss-up.
Yep. Joey.
Hey y'all, you can find me on all the socials. I think I've updated them all now to Feywild85, FEYWILDE 85. And like Pooh just said, we're coming back with Glittering Night for a couple more sessions to get that story all wrapped up, which I'm super excited about. And hopefully more stuff coming soon.
Awesome. And I'm Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at It's Probably Okay. And I'm here Wednesdays and Friday, Saturday, Sunday on this channel. And every other Monday, I'm with several folks on Happy Jacks RPG Yuma Station. So if you go to happyjacks.org, you can see our old episodes and stuff there. Sungrowler makes an excellent point. The blood is like rice. It's hot is best, cooled is okay, but out of the fridge 3 days later is right out. Yeah, I agree. So the you can also check the schedule of what I'm up to down below, or follow me on Twitter for whatever it is I'm doing. So thank you everyone for joining us. It's always appreciated. We love having you here, and we will see you next week. Thanks everyone. Oh, and stick around. I'm going to find us someone to raid. Give me 1 second with that on our end screen here. So see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.